Hello, people of God. This is my Jacob's Way TV, and I'm Dupi Dupi Singer. This is episode 108, and I ended episode 107 by telling you my dream, the revelation that the Lord used to assure me that He was with me, and I believe He's still with me. Um, do you remember that revelation? Many of us, like I said, who are on a journey, a destiny journey with the Lord, you will be lonely. You walk the path. You will not see anybody that will stand by you except God. And you cannot see God. You have to relate with God in faith. You wish that He's physically present, but you have to relate with Him in faith. And you always go on a long journey, lonely and fearful and frightful. And He's always telling you, do not be afraid. Fear not, for I am with you. And remember that the family I met said that they had known about my coming since 11 years ago. And this brings me to the fact that if God has sent you on an errand and you are afraid to be on that journey because of fear, the people He has sent to you, you'll be surprised, are already expecting you. Somebody in that community had seen that you are coming, knows the dress you are going to wear when you come, knows the bag you are going to carry, will recognize you at the slightest provocation and will protect you. You might even be surprised that the whole of the community already know that somebody is going to come and is going to be the one. They might not know the details of how God is going to use that person for them, but they are already expecting, looking out for you. That when you get to that place like this, just like that young boy and young girl recognized me and immediately came to my rescue. They are the ones that will come to your rescue. You have to be on your way. And the man of God that interpreted that dream for me told me that the 11 years shows that the Lord had penned me down for His protection, divine protection that is attached to ministry, His particular ministry, since 11 years. And here was I, frightful and fearful. 11 years after, the Lord wanted to assure me that no Uche would do me any harm. And I had asked you the other time if Uche had truly killed me or not. And I said the fact that I'm still talking here shows that Uche did not kill me. Having said that, I want to talk about a young man while Uche was gone. Let me tell you stories about what happened when Uche was in prison. There was this young man. I don't know how they all came. That is the thing about God. He said to me, stay here. Take care of youths for me. He didn't ask me to go and start looking for the youths. I cannot count the number of youths that had passed through this ministry. And I must tell you that the Lord had always brought them. Somebody will bring somebody. Somebody will tell somebody. I never went out to look for anybody. So this prosper came. I cannot even remember now who brought him. Many of them are usually not Yoruba speaking people. I'm Yoruba. I don't discriminate. God does not discriminate. But this prosper, even though his name does not sound like it, he is a Yoruba person who had lived in the East before. A fantastic photographer. He was good with his camera. His camera was good too. And he was always drinking. Not always drinking. He was a drunkard, you know. And I tried for him. I mean, be patient with him, preach the Lord to him, pray for him. But the habit, habit dies. The habit dies hard. I hope I got that's saying well. Um, so and then after a while, the people in the camp decided to make a law, about they are staying there. When there is a body of people, there must be laws. If not, people there will be recklessness. There will be lawlessness. They themselves decided to make their own laws. So They banned drunkenness in the camp. They banned drunkenness. But Prosper was still always coming drunk. Prosper was still coming drunk. By this time, I thought I had been very, very patient. I mean, I thought I had reached the limit of my patience. I mean, in terms, when I say limit of my patience, what I mean is that I thought I had learned patience, enough patience that nothing will get me angry fast like that. But one day, Prosper took advantage of the fact that I was always pleading for him, and he never kept the laws of the camp. He never kept the laws of the camp. He was always misbehaving. And one day he came and he drank and was misbehaving around the camp. So I asked the boys to throw him out, carry him out, carry him. Prosper, I asked them, he said, like in his drunken state, nobody can send me away from this place. I said, you will soon find out. He didn't know I was going to do it. He thought, I mean, that I could not face him. Being a man, even though he was drunk, I would not be able to push him. So I told the boys, carry him out and throw him out of this place. All his things. I don't want him to see him here. And they quickly picked all his things, but I now remember that his camera was part of the things that he had. So I told them, please take his camera away and keep, because in his drunken state, somebody could take his camera and steal it or whatever. The street is a very funny place. So they kept his camera for him. I threw him away. They carried him, about 6 people, bad people like him, FT boys. They literally carried him and threw him out of the camp. And then we continued with what we were doing. There was peace and silence. And I looked at all the people who had a tendency to be drunk. I told them, that is an example. I'll throw you out if you do any nonsense and you become rebellious to the laws that you people have made by yourselves. As I was driving out of camp that day, I said to the Lord, did you see what happened today? I was talking to the Lord in my heart. You know that somebody said actually that prayer is not necessarily a time when you kneel down to pray. When you kneel down to pray is a time to pray. It's only that is the definition of prayer. Prayer is the conversation that you have with God in your heart. I, I of all the definitions that I know in this world, general definitions, I hold that one as ace. I love that definition of prayers. So I take my time to talk to God all the time when I'm driving, when I'm here and there. I was always talking to Him. I don't have to open my mouth. We all know that He hears us through our hearts. I said to the Lord, did you see what happened today? And of course, He saw. And I said to Him, I don't trust you, Lord. Hmm. That sounds cheeky, isn't it? I said, I don't trust you. You can ask me to go and start looking for Prosper. You say, I've lost one of your sheep. You saw how long I have been long suffering. I did not. Lord, no, don't ask me to look for Prosper, but I'm not going to look for Prosper. I told the Lord, but I can negotiate with you. I can negotiate with you. I assure you that if you still want Prosper back in this camp, if he himself will walk back and will behave himself, I assure you, Lord, I will not send him back again. I will take him back. But if you do not allow me and you do not permit me to discipline him, he's going to spoil the other people in the camp. After all, the people of the world say one bad egg will spoil the others. I say, Lord, don't come in the middle of the night and say, where is my servant Prosper? And you know that many people that will eventually be God's servants will start as drunkards. Ah, you trust God? Ah, He loves all because we all come from Him. You know, I'm sure the Lord was laughing. He said, look at this small rat that is talking to me. I mean, well, he knew that I meant no disrespect. And of course, I drove myself back on quite a distance from the prayer place to home. in traffic and all that. When I got back home, mm, did Prosper come back? What happened? Because Prosper actually came back. In what state? Was he drunk? Did the Lord warn me about him? Did the Lord answer me? Did the Lord punish me concerning him? Well, you find that out in episode 109. Episode 109. This is my Jacob's Way TV. I'm Dupi Dupi singer. Let me tell you before I go. Did you hear what I said? The fact that the person is a madman now does not mean God cannot use him more. Because the person is a criminal now does not mean that God doesn't have need for him. I don't know. God is large-hearted, always seeking the lost. He's a God of many chances. I have walked away from God before. I knew the Lord. I was brought up in the way of the Lord. I knew the Lord. I was preaching the gospel of Christ. I was doing everything well. I walked away in rebellion. I wanted a bit of the world. And then when I was tired of that, I ran back to him. He did not close the door against me. I tell you something, in this ministry that the Lord had given to me, I never forget that the Lord took me back. And so many times, I do not close the door against the sheep of the Lord. I wait. I also wait for episode 109 to complete the story. I hope you have learned one or two things. Be on your way if the Lord has asked you to be, and He will be there to defend you. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Bye bye.